I really appreciate you all inviting me to speak. I do not have slides. I didn't want to go that route. I didn't want to lecture. I actually just wanted my passion to kind of pull forward, and I wanted us to pretend like we were in a room really talking about how we can improve the environment. My specialty is women and the United States. The United States operates different than any other place in the world on human trafficking. So what I do is I'm a transition team coordinator. It's actually been 11 years that I've been doing that, and I operate inside a jail. So Cindy and I always laugh. I'll call her right after and I'll tell her I've been in jail all day. What I do is I meet women that are looking to change the direction of their life. But the truth is, most of them don't want out. We've decided after a long journey that I'm not about quantity, I'm about quality. And the women know that I'm going to walk the entire journey with them, whether they're ready or they're not. So I think I'm one of the few people that really knows where women are running, who they're with, and how it operates. So one of the things that I found as I started this is that there's two things. In the United States, we don't kidnap our girls. I mean, it happens, but not like you'd think it. Not like you think it would. And the other piece is that the outside community wants pretty. Because if you're kidnapped, it's a sad story. And in reality, in the United States, we don't have to kidnap them because we set them up for failure. And by that, I mean, we have molestation issues. And that's such an ugly topic. And nobody wants to really deal with it. So we know that 1 in 3 women have been molested. That's what's been reported. In the jails, we know it's closer to 98% of all women that are arrested have been molested at an early age. Why that, not if you're molested does not mean that you're going to commit a crime. What I'm saying is that that's the common thread. Yes, it can be poverty and it can be the issues with the juvenile system or all these other pieces, but the common core is molestation. And what happens in molestation is that it messes with the frontal lobe of your brain. And the frontal lobe of your brain is where you understand consequences and where you handle things. And it doesn't really mature until you're in your 20s. And women actually it matures earlier than men. Once a molestation happens, unless they get the right kind of care, trauma-informed care, it doesn't heal. So they're constantly on the run and they're making decisions and they don't even know why they're making the decisions. The other piece of this big puzzle is their normal is very different than your normal. And we all grow up in environments where we only know what we know. And so that's what I'm always telling them. When I meet a person, I explain about molestation and how what happens with it is a common question I will ask is, when did you start using? Which is a weird way to segue into this whole conversation, but they'll say like 8, 9, 10, which is, you all know, is a very uncommon thing. And so that always happens either if there's been a sexual trauma or if it's very prevalent in the house. Once I go into the sexual trauma piece, they're very honest with what happened. And then I explain to them that really they were set up for failure and all the things that they've experienced along the way is why they are where they are. So when we talk about rescuing women, and I really hate that term in the United States, they don't want rescued here. The statistics show that it takes about 7 times for women to heal. We have to treat the addiction first and then treat the trauma second. The beautiful part of jail, as crazy as it sounds, is that the addiction is in full swing. And so they can't make any decisions that are really healthy for them until about 6 weeks in. So in 6 or 7 weeks, I can start meeting with them weekly and discuss really other options that they have for their life. And they can't see past where they are inside a jail. They're also being contacted by the men that they work with that are supported them, that's the only love that they've had. It's a very complicated world. And it's hard for people to understand how they could go back to the kind of abuse. But again, you only know what you know. And so one of the pieces of working with the women that I work with, and hence the name, she has a name, because they're more than just a number and they're more than just a survivor. They have names and families and hopes and dreams, and nobody actually gives them the opportunity to work through all of that or figure that out. We want to fix the problem instead of allowing them the opportunity to have all the time that they need to fix it. And I hope that, or heal themselves. And I hope that makes little sense.